Welcome, everyone. So happy to see you all on Zoom. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's just always a joy to see everyone, and we appreciate your commitment to LifeVantage and to what we are sharing with the world. It's so exciting to see all the people that are being helped by what we have to offer, both from a health aspect and also from a financial aspect. So we have some training tonight. I do have one thing to share with you, and that is that our guest for tonight, Julie Mai, I'm so sorry, but she was not able to join us tonight, but I do have a little video that I'm going to share that she made for us, and she's going to get on at another time. And then we have another special guest as well. So let me go ahead and share this, share my screen. Okay. So hopefully you can see the video that I'm going to play. And Julie, she's an artist and a designer, along with being a really busy mom. She lives in Kauai, and she is a Pro 8 in LifeVantage. She's an amazing leader. And she got my attention when she shared not too long ago on the Success Mastery that we have every Saturday, because she shared about painting the vision. And that's always something that I like to work on, just how to share what we have in a way that will enable people to grasp it and to understand it. So she's going to come back at another time and share about that. But here's a little video from her to share a little with us tonight. So if somebody could give me a thumbs up that you can hear it okay.
Hey, you guys, aloha. Julie Mai here, Elite Pro 8 out of the beautiful island of Kauai over in the Pacific Ocean. I'm so sorry I wasn't able to get on your team call today. The time switch with my team call, it ended up being the exact same time as your call. So I really apologize. I do plan on being on your call at some point. It's just finding the right time for us. So I know next week you're not having a team call due to Memorial Day. And then the following Monday is the first for me, which is our rank advance call, which is a big one. And then I have a couple things lined up, and then it's my mom's birthday. So anyway, long story short, I just want you to know that I apologize for not being there live, but I did want to go over a couple pointers with you guys. Coming up, I think so many people have goals right now. There's so much money on the table that LifeVantage has left. I'm going to put my blue blockers on here. Has thrown on the table for us to succeed this month, and it's so exciting. The whole promotion with rank advancing is so exciting. And we have the Mother's Day promotions that have been extended through the end of the month, which I'm actually taking advantage of within my team, where we're offering, my leaders and I are offering free prizes to anybody who orders a bundle before the end of the month. Free prizes being, we have Nerf 1s, we have Nerf 2s, we have Tri-Synergizers going out, we have the hair care system. So just depending on your leadership, what kind of teams you guys have, if that's something that you want to do. I think promotions are a huge way to create volume within your organizations, also to get people trying new products. It's a really great way to help people reach those ranks, reach those goals. I love to teach my new Pro 1s, the Pro 3s, exactly what it will take to get to that next level. So if a Pro 1 is looking to get to Pro 2, I like to draw it out for them, show them exactly what they'll need. Pro 3s, I do a Pro 3 training to help them get to Pro 5s. Again, we draw it out, picture form. Let's see if I can, I'm not going to share a screen, but let's just see something like this, where you can draw it out, literally put the names in the little bubbles, have little dotted bubbles where you want people to come in, so that you have something concrete to look at. Is such a benefit when you're trying to build this business. You guys, another thing that I think I've been really good at, and I promise when I'm on your call, I'll share my story with you. Some of you know my story, some of you don't. It is a 7-year journey here with LifeVantage. I took some time off to have babies. I had 2 when I started. I took time off to have 2 more. Life happened, got crazy. Thank the Lord that I dug the well before I was thirsty, you guys. I had a crazy year last year. I'm just so grateful every day for this gift that we have with LifeVantage. So please know that when you offer this to somebody, you are not burdening them. You are offering them the greatest gift that potentially could ever come into their life. Just remember that. And
no, be still.
Building vision, you guys, this is an asset that we're creating. This is leverage income. This is not go clock in, out, get paid for your hours, which so many people are used to, especially right now in the world. I think a lot of people are looking for ways to make money. Their eyes are a little bit more open. Their ears are a little bit more open. Their minds are a little bit more open. So just truly understanding the value of what we have right now with health. Huge. Our products can benefit the entire world. Every single person on the planet needs to take what we have to offer them. And then again, the financial aspect of this, you guys, is just so incredible. We're so blessed to be part of such a phenomenal company at such an incredible time. And so I want to leave this short. I'm hoping that you get this recording and that it can inspire you guys a little bit. Again, I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to be on live with you, but I promise I will in the future. And you guys go out and chase those dreams. Make sure you make those calls. The 5-second rule. If you don't know what that is, if someone pops into your head 5 seconds, call them up. Say, I've been thinking about you. How are you? Building those, relationships with people, really meeting people where they are, asking more questions, letting them know that you felt the same way. One of my favorite ways to say to somebody is, I bet you're like me. I bet you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. I bet you thought you would never do network marketing. I bet you would never think that you're a salesperson, which I'm not. I just love to inspire people. I love to help people with their health and their wealth. And in doing so, I'm able to create a incredible leverage income and time freedom for myself and my family and hundreds of others. And it's just been such a beautiful journey. So I'm going to go ahead and end this, and we will talk soon. Aloha. Thank you for letting me share a little bit of my Julie, my wisdom. My heart is with everybody. If you are struggling financially, if this pandemic has hurt you anyway with your family's health, just know that I'm praying for you, and my heart goes out to everybody. And let's go share this with the world, you guys. Aloha. Have a great one.
Okay, great. So that was encouraging, and we can all look forward to when she actually will be on our Zoom, and then we can have a time of Q&A as well. But I love some of the things that she shared. The incentive that she's doing, I think, is a great idea for here at the end of the month, taking advantage of those Mother's Day promotions and, doing something extra for those people who order. And so that's great. And then, of course, we all need a roadmap of how we're going to reach the next rank. So if you need help with that, please contact your enroller or your upline to help you with that. And now I'm going to introduce another very special guest. And this person is very near and dear to my heart. Her name is Deborah Packard, and she's a Pro 5 in LifeVantage, and she's just an amazing leader. She inspires me on a regular basis. I have gotten to meet her at some of the events, and then we've become Facebook friends and stay in pretty close contact with one another. So she's just a wonderful person. She's also a pianist, and let me see here, what else? She's a wonderful wife, mother, and grandmother. I'm always inspired when I just see her family, and they're just beautiful. But most of all, she's just a great, great friend. So anyway.
And she has six grown sons.
Six grown sons. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Debbie, but I think it's 6 male boys running around the house. Amazing, Mom.
That is really amazing. Thanks, Krista. Okay, Debbie, I'm going to just turn the time over to you. She's going to share a little bit of some different things, some of what she learned at LVA this weekend, and whatever else is on her heart. So Debbie, I'm going to turn a little time over to you.
Thank you, Julie. This is really just an amazing honor for me. I'm really glad to be here, and it's really fun to see all of your faces. I wonder if I was sharing my screen accidentally. If I was, I'm sorry. I didn't really mean to do that, but I couldn't get it off my screen, and that makes me wonder if maybe I was. Anyway, I'm glad to be here, and I remember, I think it was last year when we did a Super Saturday in place of an LVA, and Mark Harris was teaching, and he said that night on the stage, he said, y'all need to be taking notes because someday it's going to be you up here sharing, and you'll need to have something to say. And I thought at the time how terrifying that idea was. And just the thought of being able to stand on a stage for the kind of length of time that those LVA presenters do just is an amazing thing to me. And I don't for a second pretend that this is an LVA or equivalent to it, but let me just say that we are all leaders who are somewhere along the path. And if you haven't yet been given the opportunity, you never know when you might be. And so I'm just, I'm grateful to be here, and I pray that something I say tonight might be just something that will, that you can grab onto and that will help you move forward even just a little bit in your business. I will take a few minutes just to tell you my story. My husband, John, and I are both pianists, actually. We both went all the way through school and high school and college, studying music and playing the piano, but we didn't know each other during any of that time. We met right at the end of college and got married. And the Lord has been really gracious to give us 6 sons, and they are amazing. This is, I do want to share my screen, and maybe you've already seen this. I don't know if you have. All right, now I don't have it up. Okay, I'm going to find it. Let me get this picture. Best laid plans. Says I'm screen sharing. Someone let me know if you can see that. This is my family today. My 6 sons are in there, and their wives. There are 5 wives in there now. And our 10th grandchild was born a month ago. So she's not in this picture.
Hey, Debbie?
Yes.
Can you double click on that picture? Because we're seeing all of your pictures and the thumbnail.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
just
see, okay,
double click on it.
I'm going to stop the share and try it one more time. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You just I think you just needed to double click on it.
Gosh, I don't know. I'm sorry. There we go. How's that?
There it is. Perfect.
There it is. Okay, so this is my crew. Any adult young men you see there are my sons, and any adult young women you see are wives. I love this bunch of people. They are really just the thrill of my heart. Yesterday, one of my sons came to my house. They just called at the spur of the moment and stopped by and asked if they, if we were going to be here, and they stopped by with my brand new granddaughter, whom I had met, but I had not yet held. And I got to hold her for the first time yesterday, and it was just such a joy to me to have that time with her. So family is super important to both John and me. We've been married now 38 years. We'll celebrate 39, Lord willing, this fall. And it has been quite a journey raising those guys. Some pretty remarkable highs and lows in those years, but we are at a place right now where we just consider ourselves humbled by the blessing of raising them, and they're all now amazing young men who love God and still love us and love each other, and we just couldn't ask for more. All during that time, even before we had children, John struggled with sleep and energy issues, really for all of our marriage until just a few years ago. 3 years ago, he was offered Protandim by a good friend to see if that might help, and it did. And it has made an amazing difference in his life. And he's really a different person. He's always been a wonderful person, but he's different today because of what this company and its products have provided for him. And then after he'd been on the products for about a year, really was the first time we ever really took a look at the business and the opportunity that was there. For us, the timing was just perfect. The kids were all raised, and we were looking for a way to boost our income, to really provide for ourselves and for our family in the future, to really build up a system where we weren't going to be a burden to the kids, and that we could give more into the kingdom of the Lord. And so this just came at a perfect time. We do believe it's just a gift from God, and we want to do our very best to be faithful with it. It's easier, you know, I was thinking about talking about what Mark was sharing that night, and whenever we hear presenters, when we were just even tonight listening to Julie on that amazing short little 5-minute video of so much wonderful information, it's easy to look at that. I mean, I do it. I look at people who are higher in rank and I think, well, I'm not that person. I'm not that gifted. I'm not that eloquent. I'm not that experienced. I'm not that special. I mean, fill in the blank. I think all of us have been guilty of that. And one thing I've come to realize, and I have to say David Meisner has been a real help to me in reminding me of this when I struggle with it. He's like, you are not today the person you're going to be when you're a Pro 7. We are all on this journey. We're all becoming a better version of ourselves. We're all strengthening the things that need to be strengthened and maybe releasing the things that need to be let go of. But I don't have to be today the person that I will need to be that Pro 7. I'm not the person today that I was when I became a distributor, hopefully. You know, I see things that I've learned and grown in, and all of us do. And we're on a path. And the most important thing is not where we are on the path, but what direction we're facing. And we all need to just keep facing forward, keep taking the next step to become a better version of what we've been made to be, you know, and finding that for ourselves. As I look back at some of my notes in my most recent notebook, just some of the LVAs and the amazing people we've been given the opportunity to listen to, I saw something Everett Schilling said, and it really struck me back then, obviously, because I wrote it down, and it still does. He reminded us that people are the greatest gift. And that really is just an important thing for us to remember, that people are an amazing gift. They're the biggest gift, the best one. And everyone is born with value. Everyone has something to offer, and we have something to offer everyone. We need to let people inspire us to become better. Listen to what they say and be inspired. Marilyn Johnson, if you watched the LVA on Saturday, with Marilyn, what an inspiring story she has. I just love seeing her journey and hearing how God brought her from where she was to where she is today. And one thing she told us, and I loved it because Julie kind of echoed it tonight, was to think of a person and then follow through with that thought. I love that. How often do we think of someone and then we just let it go? But we need, when we think of someone, when someone comes to mind, we need to follow through. Often when someone comes to mind, it may just be that God is answering their prayer by bringing them to mind. Or maybe he's just fulfilling his purpose. Maybe it's a prayer that they don't even know needs to be prayed, but for some reason, someone's coming to mind. And so we need to respond to that. If we can right then, that 5-second rule, pick up your phone and call them or text them, reach out to them in some way and say, you have just come to mind. How are you doing? You know, what's going on in your life? If you can't right then certainly write it down. Make a note in your phone. Do something to make sure that you don't forget to reach out to them at the soonest possible time. They're a gift. And the fact that you thought of them is a gift. So we need to treat it that way. I have to say that this is not my natural strong point, thinking of everybody as gifts. I'm getting better, but this is just, I have really had to learn and grow in this area. I'm not proud to say that, but it's true. But I have to say that I've really been surrounded by people. I've been given that gift of people in my life who have modeled that for me. And then when I joined LifeVantage, it was like a whole new bouquet of people who are wonderful at loving people. And they've been wonderful at loving me. And I've watched and am learning what that means. A lot of times, you know, people don't even realize when they're teaching you. And we may not realize when we're teaching others. A lot of times we don't. But we can be observers and learners and watchers to see, you know, when you see someone who has touched your life, stop long enough to take note about that. You know, what did they just do that made me feel special? You know, what was that? You know, think it through and let it become part of who you are. It will look different because it will be part of who you are, and you will do it differently. But what is it that makes a person feel loved? What makes a person feel cared for? When we experience that from someone else, it's a great opportunity to learn and process that. So as I've kind of thought through that, you know, what makes people know that you care about them, and just looking back at some notes, I know a lot of these points are things that you've heard numbers of people say, but it's always good to remember them and just be reminded. And so I came up with a little acronym, which I don't usually do, but it was pretty easy to do that tonight. And so I came up with the word real. And I think that's a great place to start, is that we need to be real. We need to be ourselves, not try to look like someone else, not try to do it just like someone else, but learn from them and then let that become part of who we are. So if we use that word real, the first letter R would stand for just recognizing the value a person has, and then tell them so. Do they have an award-winning smile? Tell them. Do they light up a room when they walk in? Tell them that you've noticed that when they walk in, everything just seems brighter and happier. Are the things that they say meaningful? Do you always notice that when they do talk, maybe they don't talk a lot, but when they do, it's worthwhile. Point that out. Say, I so appreciate the way that, you know, what you say always seems to have merit. Have you observed a particular gift or an ability that they have? Maybe it's something they do every day. You know, I know for me, I've just been trying more. I've been reading the book. I've been actually listening to it, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's an amazing book. I know the Building Depth study is going through it right now, and I just do recommend that book. It's been great, but it has made me try to be more diligent about just expressing gratitude and appreciation to my husband every day for the work he does. He goes to a job every day, and just to say, you know, thank you. I appreciate the way you work to support us, and that you always come home afterward. You know, just basic things, but recognize people and let them know that you appreciate the value that they have. And then the E would be for encouragement, just to encourage people. If they're reaching for a goal, help them to believe that they can and most certainly will reach it. And if they don't feel like they can even dream of reaching a goal, offer them some of your hope. You know, give them some belief, and maybe share a personal story of yours. Give them reason to believe that they can do what they dream of doing. Just be an encouragement. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out thing, but just a happy word, something to make them feel valuable. The A would stand for ask. You know, ask questions, real questions like, what makes your heart beat faster? That's one I like to ask people if I'm trying to get to know them a little bit. And I don't like being fake. Sometimes I feel like if I try to get to know them, they're going to think I'm trying to, you know, sell them something or get them to do something. So I'll say, you know, I would just love to know you more. Tell me about yourself. What makes your heart beat faster? What do you like to do? If you could do anything you want in your spare time, what would it be? You know, get them talking about what's in their heart. What are your dreams? What's the greatest challenge you're facing right now? You know, that's a way sometimes to get people to open up and share things that they might not just in the course of conversation. And then after you do, when you're done talking to them, jot those things down. Not so you can sell them something, but so that you can love them better. We get so much information every day thrown at us, and I don't remember it all. And so sometimes even just in my contacts in my phone, if I learn someone I have a good friend, and I learned one, she said one time she likes candles and trees. When gift ideas, if you can think of candles and trees. So I wrote that down in my phone so that I would remember that the next year when I was trying to think of something that might mean something to her. Write down the names of people's kids, write down something they might point out when you're out with them. Oh, that's a pretty, what do they notice? What kinds of things can you remember about them that might make a difference to them later? So ask. So we got recognize the value, encourage them, ask, and then of course listen, and listen with the goal to hear, to really hear them, hear their heart. That means staying engaged when they're talking. You've got to knit with that person long enough to really let them share your heart. Pay attention to what they're really saying, and respond when they're ready. People are the greatest gift. They're just, they're wonderful. People are wonderful. And I think it's easy sometimes in our business to kind of dread the people part of the business, but we would be in a stinky place if it wasn't for people. We'd have a hard time doing anything. So we've got to love the people, learn how to love people. And man, we've got, even just on this call, we have excellent examples of lovers of people, and we can all learn from one another. So that is all I had, Julie. I really appreciate the opportunity to share tonight.
Wow, Debbie, you truly are amazing and so thought-provoking and so inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you.
I love everything that you shared. I took some great notes, and I just love how, you emphasize loving people. That is just amazing. And people, what makes a person feel loved, what makes them feel cared about. And, it's so thought-provoking just to, take the time to really, think about that, and to be aware of, the needs of people, and because we're all different. So, wow, you shared some really great things. I love, what you shared about the word real, and all those things are terrific, and they're all so important, because this is a people business. It's a relationship business. And so you shared a lot of things that have a lot of value for us. Does anyone have, we have just a couple minutes maybe, if anybody has a question that they'd like to ask. I see people saying, thank you, Debbie. You can read the comments there. Yeah, definitely. Great time of sharing there, Debbie. So appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other comments or questions?
Well, I want to say how much we love you, Debbie, and how honored we are that you're in this team. And I also want to say that you attract wonderful people, and we love your team. We love who you have enrolled, such incredible people. And I love that, because I find that not only have we loved getting to know you, but some of the people in your particular downline and team we love dearly. And they are amazing people, and that says a lot for you. Yes. And so we love you and John. At every point that your name is mentioned in this house, we go, they're such incredible people. And we didn't know until, I don't know when I really realized that you were such the pianist. Now I'm amazed. I had no idea John was. So now he has to play piano and put it on Facebook. Hello.
I know. I've been thinking, we used to do piano duet recitals, and that kind of stopped once we really started having more and more kids. And so I've been thinking it would be really fun to do something like that on Facebook.
I would just love that. Yes, I listen to you all the time. When you put something on, I just turn it on and listen, and I love it. So we love you. We love John. I love the fact that you've raised your children and that they love God. That's just a real example for us, because we're in that stage of raising kiddos too. And so you've just done such an honorable, beautiful job with that. So I just appreciate that personally, watching you and watching your sons, and so excited about your grandbaby. So thank you for sharing tonight. It was really special.
Oh, thank you, Krista.
Absolutely. It was special. And you're special, Debbie. We appreciate you so much. And it definitely has been an honor. And I just want to thank everyone for being on the Zoom tonight. Please be sure to check our Facebook group, because Mark and Krista have been doing weekly announcements on there and doing a Facebook Live, so you can get the details for the week. And we have some great things going on in LifeVantage right now. So we all need to be taking advantage of that. So with that, I just wanted to share that next Monday is Memorial Day. So because of that, we will not be having a Zoom. So the next time that we get on here will be June the 1st. So we look forward to seeing you all
And
again.
I want to say an extra special thank you to Julie tonight to do this on your birthday. None of us knew it was your birthday. Talk about not being on Facebook. I mean, I'm like getting on, looking at LifeVantage stuff and getting off. So we love you, Julie. We honor you. You organized so much for this team, and we're so appreciative and grateful. And we do love you. And we pray that this is the best year yet, and it's your year of Pro 8.
Amen.
Yes. Yes.
Amen. Well, thank you. And it's just such an honor and privilege to be a part of, you know, our team and our wonderful LifeVantage family. Just like Debbie said, you know, we just so appreciate the relationships that we've developed together. So love you all. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes, and thanks for being a part of our team. And you all go out and have a rest of the great week and a happy Memorial Day. So bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks again, Debbie.